Maybe we will.
So we have a couple of
Fox Synergy, Stefan. That's what they want.
Sign us up. So we have a couple. I mean, looking forward, there's a couple things I think that we still have on the docket too. So, I mean, uniform reveals, that's a big one. I've seen that online. People want to see what the uniforms look like. The other one, detailed scheduled. We have our kickoff date, April 16th. So it was actually projected or reported early back in October that it was going to be April 15th, which is a Friday, which made people, wait, Friday, that's a little bit weird. But then even in their release, they said some games are going to be on Friday, some going to be on Monday. So people say, okay, maybe it is a Friday. Well, today they announced 100 days away. Well, yeah, actually yesterday. So we're about, 99 days. The day that this goes live, we're less than 100 days from the kickoff of the USFL. What do you think we'll get first, jerseys or schedules?
You know, if I had to be a betting man, I'm going to go with the jerseys, if I'm wanting to be honest. I think I'll go with the jerseys. I'm just going to go off that prediction just based on what will cause more interest all of a sudden, and what you could then kick off maybe, I don't know, maybe possibly more social media engagement, I guess. I think that's a good way of doing it. And I'm going to even throw it out there too. I bet they reveal them on the herd.
Yep.
I'm for some reason, like I said, they will hammer home the herd as your de facto USFL show, and you will be going there anytime they say something. So I think, like, for that, I don't know about maybe even the detailed schedule. Like, shoot, maybe that's where they drop it as well, you know. But I think uniforms, just because it gets people buzzing more. So the schedule, I mean, we already know the time frame. It's more just a formality's sake, I guess. And with it being a hub, there's no like, when can I buy tickets for my home team? Because there is really no true home team except for Birmingham. So honestly, I think the uniforms drop first. You want to get that hype going a lot more. The schedule just doesn't do enough until you start selling the teams off to different cities.
Right. I just hope they put them on sale. I just hope they sell them. I want one. I want a new jersey to my collection. Maybe we'll get it framed, put it in the back. I got a bunch of XFL ones too, so maybe we'll just frame them all and get them all set up over here.
Build the set. I mean, I gotta get mine upgraded. As I've stressed to you, I have some plans for that in the future. Here's the thing I want to ask you, by the way, with the uniforms. So someone made a great point. There's a lot of red in the team like color palettes. So I don't know about you. I'm going to be intrigued mainly by how they balance all the red and yellow, red and gold in these four, like, for example, between the Panthers, Stars, the Generals, and the the Generals, as well as like you got the Gamblers too, that all have some sort of red involved. I mean, that's going to be tricky.
You would hope, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they did have home and away.
Even Stallions too, by the way.
They did have home and away jerseys in the Spring League. Is that right?
Yeah.
Some teams, I want to say.
I think some did. I'm trying to remember, because the linemen, they stuck with, I believe, just the white with the black text in theirs.
Yeah,
because I don't remember any like full black uniforms or full yellow uniforms.
Yeah, I would say if they want to absolve the confusion, they're going to need to have home and away jerseys, or at least have it. I don't know. It would be so hard, because even if you give the teams with red, alternate them white and red, sooner or later you're going to have the team's face, right? So.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how that's going to work out. I mean, we'll see. Hopefully we'll find out sooner rather than later. I mean, we have to. We're less than 100 days from kickoff. So I'm excited.
It's going to happen sooner rather than later, I hope. And it's going to be the one that I think is another jump starter for social media, or that's the one that maybe they kick off like a full force social media continuous posting, you know, because that's a point the league has been, of course, doing enough with, but not over exceeding at yet, is getting posting out and engagement, but it's got to happen soon enough. That might be it.
So I think, you know what? I think we covered as much as we can for a debut episode. I don't know, any last thoughts, any last things you want to bring up before we go into the old fun outro? Oh, actually, after that, we do have to announce the winner. We do have to announce the winner.
Besides the giveaway.
So stick around, guys. It's coming. Colin Cowherd
all I'm
style.
gonna mention. Colin Cowherd style. You watch. That's going to be it's going to be a continuing thing with the show. I'll say Colin Cowherd more in my life than I ever have in the first 26 years that I have been on this planet. Is from this podcast in particular. My final thoughts, I guess, with all of this is, we had a lot of people start, that were asking, because it is crunch time, and it is now going on less than 4 months out, where it's like, hey, are we going to hear things? And even with that, there was doubt that maybe we'll get stuff in January, because, you push things off enough, and, some people start wondering if it'll happen. And I think I was just really happy just to see that these announcements have really solidified more on me having confidence to back this league and get excited for this league, if anything. And for others, it's just saying, okay, this is going to happen. So, that's for final thoughts. Like that's it. I'm just glad to see that we are now executing on things that have been talked about coming around the bend, and that we are now fully into everything.
We're knee deep now. We're right in the mix of it. My random thought is I'm just excited to start this podcast. I mean, we're jumping into it right when news is really popping off. I think this is going to be a super fun journey for us. Like we mentioned, we did have our first giveaway. We weren't sure that we were going to have a winner for the first episode, but we did. Essentially, our goal was, if we get 100 subscribers on YouTube, one lucky winner, you're winning a t-shirt or a hat of your choice from the USFL store. So I think this is a good time to announce it. So earlier, I ran a random generator that goes through all of our subscribers on YouTube. It picked one guy, but remember, we're going to announce it here. You have until the next show, at least the day before the next show, until next Thursday, to DM us on Twitter at USFL Podcast to redeem your prize. And you will need to show proof that you're subscribed. Still,
yes.
Because we know how you kids can be. So give a round of applause to Mr. E-Man. He actually left a comment on one of our videos saying, Bandit Ball.
Oh, he's going to get back to you then if he's doing Bandit Ball quoting now.
So sign him up.
He's going to get back.
I'm going to guess he's probably going to want some Tampa Bay Bandits gear, but Mr. E-Man, DM us on Twitter and we'll get the hookup. Now, again, we're going to be doing giveaways throughout the show's history. So I know you were saying 100, but I think we go a little bit bigger. I think our next goal here, if we can get 250 subs on YouTube.
Yeah.
Now, here's the twist. Beyond adding us on Twitter, you also need to jump into the Discord, because that's how you're going to have to redeem your prize. See? 2 sleeves, both full of tricks. Don't sit on your laurels. You might win and miss out. So, links are all in the description. Again, what you got to do, subscribe to the YouTube, follow us on Twitter, and join the Discord. And I mean, there's no good reason that you wouldn't want to join the Discord. It's full of a bunch of like-minded, good time having spring football fans.
Absolutely. We talk about all the different leagues on there too. So you really are getting something for joining in, not only an entry, but you're gaining a good community in there that you get to talk with, including us. We're both in there. So, why not get to engage with us if you like our show and join our Discord server there with the newsroom crew? I think that it's a win-win. You get to join in, possibly win a shirt or a hat, and help us grow at the same time. And you also get to interact with us at the same time. Like, what do you got to lose?
Sure. Speaking of the newsroom crew, again, we have the USFL podcast, but we're no haters. We support all the other community members out there. So there's a couple I want to mention. So we have the Michigan Panther Cast, a newsroom crew member. So if you're a Michigan Panthers fan, head over to USFL Panther Cast over on Twitter. We post all the episodes over at pfnewsroom.com. Stay tuned there. And of course, we had to mention our good old friend Tron Hawkins with This Is the USFL podcast. He's going to be dropping podcast live streams throughout the season. So make sure you follow him over at Twitter at This Is the USFL. You guys, again, longtime followers will know Tron and I actually go a long way back. You know, I flew him out to the last game, or not the last. I flew him out to the Dragons game here to help me cover it. And I'm so glad that was the game that we picked, because it was the last game before the illness that we shall not name ruined everything. So had it been one more week, old Tron would have missed out. So again, longtime friend of mine, longtime supporter of spring football. Go make sure you follow him over there as well. But since we're talking about social media, you know we got to talk about us as well. At USFL Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, which we don't use really much, and TikTok, which I haven't even used yet, but it's nice and simple. At USFL, make sure you give us a follow. And again, if you subscribe here and click the bell builds morale. You could win a t-shirt and hat once we hit 250 subs, just like my man, Mr. E-Man, who I'm guessing is going to get some kind of bandit gear. Well, that could be you. You could be in some Panthers gear. You could be in some Gamblers gear. We don't care. We just want you here with us, the USFL Podcast. Additionally, you can follow me directly at The Ref Says. Make sure you follow at USFL Newsroom. And my man, Zach, over at Grid Gallery Pod. And is it just at Zach Kyleman?
Yes, it is, good sir.
Sign you up.
Yes,
and I got the name right. And it's funny. I was listening to the Tom Abraham show earlier when they introduced you, and at least I'm not the only one. But I'll say they did get your name right. Mr. Abraham was right. They usually stumble over my name, but I get it. I told them, don't feel bad. I've been called much worse. So I think that's it for the day. So, again, thanks for joining us for the first episode. We hope you stick around for the second, third, fourth, and throughout the rest of the year and years beyond. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you're staying tuned to USFL Newsroom. I don't know. Any last words before we end this out, buddy?
Look, the next months ahead are just going to be a fun, exciting, thrilling, and honestly, to me, somewhat dizzying time. And you and I are all for it. And I'm going to quote your famous phrase now for yourself. Sign me up, sign you up, and I hope you sign up with us
and
too.
Everybody, get signed up. We'll be back next week with another edition of the USFL Podcast.